Hey loves, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another. Well, this is a very sad live. For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm an American woman who has been living and traveling through Latin America for the past few years. And on this channel, we talk about the realities of culture, dating, relocation, and living as an American in Latin America. I tell y'all, real talk, no chaser. So if that's something that you're interested in, then you have found the right place, guys. Oh my goodness, I I was gonna on yesterday, and I planned on going live, and I was late to the game because yesterday I was like, that was like my first day. I'm trying to discipline myself because I'm on social media so much because I do content. And I don't want to be a person who lets my content and the comments and stuff run me. So yesterday what happened, y'all, was I didn't see what had happened in Colombia because I had spent the first half of my day not on social media, not on the internet. I was working out, handling business, studying, doing things like that. So I honestly, it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon before I realized what had happened in Colombia, y'all, and I was absolutely devastated. I feel a little bit of guilt. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm trying not to get emotional. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to get emotional. Normally, this is the first time in a few years that, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And this is the first, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know I was gonna get this emotional. Mm, I'm sorry. I had no clue. Let me get it together. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep the live going. This was the first time in a few years that I had not been in Medellin for the summer. And I don't know why I feel this way, but a part of me feels guilty for being out of the country. But then another part of me is relieved that I was not there with my daughter because, I talked to some of my friends and they were sending me videos and showing me how scary it was, because it hit, Medellin didn't have any buildings collapse, but the way those buildings were shaking, I could not have imagined. Them things was rumbling and tumbling, and I could not have imagined being there at the time. My homegirl, y'all seen Vanessa, she's been on here. I talked to Vanessa, and Vanessa was, she has kids, and she was like, girl, I thought it was over for me and my kids. All I kept thinking about was what happened in Venezuela. I thought that was it. And she was just, it was just emotional. So I couldn't come on here yesterday. Obviously I shouldn't be on here today to see what happened in the coffee region. I have friends in the coffee region. If you ever met people from like Pereira, Manizales, Armenia, these are like the nicest people you will ever meet. I know in the travel space, y'all hear a lot about the red light districts, the girls, the scoping, all of that. But there's like another side of Colombia where the people's hearts are like so good. And people from the coffee region, these are like the most wholesome, family oriented people, love kids. These are those kind of people. So to see that they got hit hard over there, that they lost some of their historic cathedrals, that was just I saw where one of the universities, like the side of the building collapsed, and the kids like Now imagine you're at school studying and the damn buildings start collapsing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. To see what happened to the people in Choco, where the epicenter was. And y'all gotta understand, Choco is like the one of the black areas in Colombia. For those of y'all don't know, Colombia has been in a civil war for decades, and Choco, they already deal with a lot of bullshit because it's a lot of that civil war impacts them. A lot of displaced people went through Choco. They barely have Wi-Fi. They barely have internet. Like they barely have. And it's like, it's gonna take forever. Like it's already hard to rebuild. Y'all think about what happened in the United States and California in the Palisades. And people still have not rebuilt from that. And it's the United States. Imagine somebody living in Choco or Buenaventura in Colombia, even Cali. Cali's gonna have a hard time. I'm gonna pull up Andre from Love Crossing Borders channel, you know, and for those of y'all hit his Cash App. Y'all hit his Cash App. They need Cash App. They're displaced. They're not in their home. I'm gonna put his Cash App in the chat. And I don't care how y'all feel. This is what a community is supposed to be, you know. So if y'all could send them something, he had to go live from his phone. All of his stuff was in the apartment. And regardless of how y'all feel, if y'all were abroad, we should all be able to call on each other in a time of need. Regardless, you know, put the emotions to the side and how we feel about each other. We're supposed to be able to tap into a community. So I'm sure anything that y'all could give, again, I'm putting his Cash App in the chat, Love Crossing, and it'll say his name, Andre. Y'all send him some love. Y'all send him and Andrea some love. Thank you, D. Malley. Thank you. We're gonna talk about it today. The truth says, lived in California my whole life, never had quakes like that here. That looked like a straight movie. Terrible. Just straight up terrible. Earthquakes are no joke. I was in Thailand for the big one, the 40th floor, rushing down the stairwell. We all thought it was over that day, praying for Colombia. Y'all, this is why I have a phobia. Y'all would never see me living in a high-rise building. I can do a five-floor building max, and I'm not living at the top. I have a fear. I don't care who made fun of me for living in a building that is not a high rise. I'm not doing it. Never. And it's been because of that. I'm always like, well, what if there's an emergency? Like, my mind immediately goes back to, y'all remember what happened with 9/11 and, you know, when the planes flew into the towers and all the people. I'm sorry. I always get emotional when I talk about 9/11 because, you know, we all remember where we were and all the people above the impact zone, the majority of those people could not get out. And I'm like still traumatized from that, seeing that as a kid. So I never ever want to live in a high-rise building or work in a high-rise building. Hey, Rico. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to get emotional. I agree. I don't do high rises either. No more than fifth floor, especially for fires and even things like broken elevators. Nope. Because first of all, you're not going, if you got to go down 20, all of this stuff happens like in a matter of seconds. We think it's a long time, but it's not. And if you got to go down 20 flights of stairs because you can't get on the elevator or you might get trapped. You got to go through 20 flights of stairs. And imagine trying to go through 20 flights of stairs and you have a child. I'm sorry. So I'm so sorry. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through tonight, y'all. Whatever love y'all can show. If y'all would like to go to Robert's Instagram page, I know a lot of y'all don't like Rob, but I know for a fact, you know, that's the thing when you're donating to other countries, foreign countries, people, they're so greedy, they see it as an opportunity to make money, or they steal donations. I know for a fact, I've seen the videos myself, I've seen the supplies. Robert has people on the ground collecting things like water, wipes, all those kind of things. So if you go on his page on Remote Living Gringo, that is a safe place to donate. Your money is going to go toward whatever it is. Also, help an expat brother out and his family. Again, I put it in the chat. Send a cash app to Andre on Love Crossing Borders. I'm going to put it in there again. His cash app is Love Crossing. Him and his wife Andrea are displaced right now. They can't get back in their apartment. He doesn't have his laptop. He had, you know, all of his stuff is in his apartment. And you know, they have to wait until the damage is assessed before they can get back in there. But we're actually going to head over to Andre's channel right now because he was there. For those of y'all who don't know, Andre lives in Cali. Andre lives in Cali, and Cali was hit very hard too. And y'all got to understand, especially like, you know, this is a Black travel space. A lot of these places that were hit the hardest are places where the Black Colombians, and it's not going to be easy for them to rebuild. It's not going to be easy for them to rebuild at all. This is a long road to recovery. So do what you can. Rob weird, but he ain't stealing Ish. Hey, y'all know Rob is my friend. He's cool. But thank you for saying he's not stealing. He's not going to steal anything. So that's a safe place to donate. It's a tough time for all, especially expats with family out of the country. My prayers for all of those affected. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't either. At this point, I only want to live in a one-story house. Yeah, like I'm not living in I'm never, to me, that's a safety hazard. All that time in Colombia and never learned how cold-hearted they are. I have spent many years in Colombia, and I can tell you they wouldn't give a fuck if it happened where you at right now. You know what? That's not true. That's not true. Yes, you do have very cold-hearted Colombians. Colombia has two faces, y'all. And there are some Colombians who, if they seen you on the side of the road, they would stop you and help you with whatever it is. And they will look out for you, and they're the best kind of people. And then you have that other side. It's like two different sides. And then you have that other side where you got evil, cold-hearted people that could unalive somebody and go eat lunch right after. But we're not choosing to focus on those people. We're choosing to focus on the 60% that's good. And anybody who's getting on the internet and they're trying to make it seem like all Colombian. Hold on, y'all. Somebody knocking on my door. Anybody trying to make it seem like all Colombians are just these cold-hearted animals, that's not true. That's not true. Not at all. Hey, Chilltown, how are you? Cold-hearted motherfuckers everywhere in the world, yes. Hey, Ulysses, I have been going to Colombia for 8 years. They didn't care about what happened to Venezuela. As a matter of fact, many of them were happy. I don't think that was the majority that were happy. And I know the Colombians that I know were sad. So it's like, this is dangerous, y'all. Y'all can't generalize. Y'all cannot generalize. And that make no sense to be happy because guess who have to deal with the refugees and all that, the fallout? Colombia, they're right next door. They're right next door. No, it wasn't a rappy. Okay, so we're going to go to Andre's channel. we're going to listen to his experience. Again, guys, this is an expat, Andre from Love Crossing Borders. Him and his wife, Andrea, they live in Cali, Colombia. At the moment, they are displaced. They cannot get back in their apartment. He is forced to go live from his phone. He doesn't have access to his laptop right now. So his Cash App is going to be on the screen. Feel free to, send a Cash App, show some support for them as they are displaced if you can. I'm going to skip.
And so now you're thinking about your vehicle that's in the garage. So all of us that got vehicles inside she had to give her baby to Andre. Go, the black area, they got 4, because I know you guys are going to have some questions and everything. And like I said, we're going to talk about each region. The first region I want to talk about, actually, I'll start off telling you about what took place with us. And I hope that we're looking clear. And once again, thank you guys for supporting by way of Cash App tonight and not just Super Chats. We appreciate that more than you realize. But we were at home, man. It was 7 o'clock in the morning, about 7:30. And our bed is a very solid bed. You know how some people got that solid oak bed that it just don't move. You have somebody jumping up and down on the other side and that other person can sleep. That's how solid our bed is, right? And so I feel the first move. I feel the bed slide the first time. And I'm like, I recognize this from all of the other tremors that we've gone through here in Colombia. But I realized this is much bigger. By the time the second push, I'm waking Andrea up. Fortunately, I got shorts on. Andrea jumps up. She's in her PJs. And now we're on our way down the stairs. Our apartment is just starting to fall apart. And then I got video footage, but like I said, since we don't have Wi-Fi over where we are, I'm going to tell you where we are throughout the show. But since we running down the stairs, we're on the 6th floor of 12. We live in a very upper class community over out north in Cali, Colombia. And so by the time we hit the 4th floor, you don't know if the stairs over your head is about to come down because you're running down, or you don't know because you can feel it raining. It's starting to rain down on you. And so as you're running, you're trying to beat the stairs that you already ran past. So these are about to crumble.
This is a real life horror movie. Like, they lived a real life horror movie.
At the same time, you're looking at the stairs underneath you crumbling. And I'm going to break it down the timing for you for a second while we're running down the stairs. Now we hit the 4th floor. It's a full scale earthquake. Some areas got 1 minute of earthquake. Some areas got 30 seconds. Some areas got 10 seconds of earthquake in different cities. Chocó, the black area, they got 4 minutes straight of earthquake. They also got over 40 tremors after that. So anybody that knows those after tremors that come, they got 40 of those. And then today, they had another earthquake in Chocó, in the all black area of Colombia, in Buenaventura and in Chocó area, were very damaged. We're going to talk about those areas in a minute. Back to the stairs. So we're running down the stairs. We seeing old people. So I'm stopping to help old people. Andre is still shooting down the stairs. And then once again, the earthquake is a full scale.
Shout out to Andre. Shout out to Andre. I don't care. This is why, you know what? Andre and I, we may disagree on things. And a lot of y'all be talking shit about Andre in the travel. And I don't agree with everything he says. I don't. And guess what? I call him about it. Because it's easy to just pick up the phone. Okay? Y'all like to talk You gotta tell us, like, what's it looking like? How are the people feeling on the ground in Medellin? Andre is a solid dude. Most of the brothers I meet abroad are garbage. Yeah, he's solid. You know it's terrible when a grown man break down and cry. Hey, Skinny. Thank you. And that's what I kept thinking about. Like, damn, what if we would have been in Medellin, or we would have been somewhere else? We would have been visiting another part of Colombia, and for whatever reason, let's say, Tatiana was on a play date or something like that. Like, I just could not imagine being a parent and being separated from my child at that time. Thank you so much. Yes, y'all support on all platforms. Is something going on with my sound? I see people dropping off like rapidly. The president waged war on guerrilla syndicates and cartels that won't put down their guns for anyway, rejecting peace negotiations. Now this earthquake, it's unsafe. I will say that. There are certain parts of Colombia I would not be in. It's unsafe to be in Colombia now with looters. It's very unsafe. And shout out to the first responders, the people who are digging people out the rubble, the people who are sending in donations, the people who are sending in help. Y'all have to understand these are brave people doing this. It's not the United States. It's not the United States. It's people that will rob and unalive these people on the way while they are delivering these supplies. So anybody doing that, that's a rough job to have right now. Y'all have to understand the situation. Y'all got to understand places like Chocó, Buenaventura. Part of the reason why those areas are so poor and that there's not a lot of investment in that area is because they are very close to guerrilla territory. They deal with a lot of fallout. See, here's the thing. When a lot of people come on here and they be like, oh, Colombia is safer than the United States. I'd rather be there than the United States because in the United States, there's, all these mass unalivings, and they don't know that Colombia has mass unalivings too. They don't know that guerrillas will massacre an entire town in Colombia. They don't know Colombia has, I think if it's not the first, the second largest population of citizens displaced within its border. People don't they can't come on here and talk to you from that place because they don't know. They go live in Medellin, which is a beautiful place. I'm not knocking nobody, but they go live in Medellin, in Cartagena, and they're away from all that, and they don't know what's going on. So y'all keep those first responders, the people who are collecting and delivering donations, y'all keep those people in their prayers, because you actually right, 916 Hella, this is a very dangerous time to get caught up in this. The connection keeps lagging, but you're back now. Okay, well, okay, thank you. Y'all let me know. Okay, I'm glad I sent my funds to my girl and on top donations. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody, you don't gotta send your money to. Hey, if you got a little short, here's the thing, fellas. Y'all be hunching on these honeys when y'all go to Colombia. This is the time. If you got you a little girlfriend or some girl that you used to sleep with that's from Cali or whatever the case may be, this is the time to hit up your shorties. And don't be if you're gonna be a trick, don't be a cheap trick. Hit they cash apps. Oh yeah. Yeah, hit they cash apps. I'm gonna say it right now. This is the time to be a super trick. If it was any time you was gonna trick, now is the time. When your shorties from Colombia, especially in affected areas, if you know they got family, they're from Pereira, they're from Manizales, they're from Cali, they're from Choco. Don't be cheap now. If she send you the picture of the refrigerator, just go on, send them, drop the bread, drop the funds. Don't be sitting up, I'm not no simp, I'm not no trick. Now is the time. You got an excuse to trick. Go on trick. Go on trick. Go on trick. Trick now. Okay? Send the funds.
Like this is my first time kind of like it hit me like right now. Like before I had to be the calm one.
I know,
right?
Drew. I know, Drew.
So you guys are seeing me being hit, probably talking to you guys about it. And so now you're thinking about your vehicle that's in the garage. So all of us that got vehicles inside the building, you thinking like, should I go down and get my vehicle? Should I wait? You know, as a man, all these thoughts are going through your mind. So you're seeing all these other vehicles go. Mind you, this is the part that got me. I've been joking about this. Mind you, I find out in all my complex of all these buildings in the suburbs, I'm the only black dude. Wasn't no sisters around, wasn't no brothers around, wasn't no Americans around. I'm the only tall black dude in my whole community. But that was funny to notice that. So I said, okay, I'm seeing other people go down to get their vehicles. And so everybody took their vehicles out and was parked.
This is a good point to make. Kim, she says, this is so heartbreaking and sad. I believe it's worse than what the media is saying. I seen moms on TikTok that couldn't get their babies at a school. Girl, just imagine. I don't even want to imagine, honestly. Okay, I'm dropping the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to come up and give their opinions on this, y'all want to talk about this subject with me, I actually would really appreciate it, because I don't want to be on here. I don't feel good about it. You know, like, who would? It's very sad to talk about. I'm trying to eat because I don't want to wait until later and eat, because I'm trying not to eat after a certain time because I'm on like a cut. So it's like I don't want to eat, but I need to eat because I haven't eaten all day. So I'm trying to like eat and talk and like not cry while I'm eating. So I actually would appreciate some company tonight on the panel if anybody's willing to come up. But like you said, I want to go back to this comment 916. Well, hold on, no. I want to go back to Kim's comment. They're calling you Tacanyo. Nothing gonna change, but I mean, not they call you stingy. Kim said, I believe it's worse. It's always worse than what the media is saying. And you know that, how you know that, Kim? You got to look at the destruction. The destruction, and your common sense will tell you it's always worse. And I was talking with somebody earlier, you know, there are all these conspiracy, like people are like, you know, saying that they will, like, there are people who are making this political, which I don't think it should be political. Y'all got to understand that Colombia sits on a fault line, and what's going on with those tectonic plates is the plate that Colombia is sitting on is going under another plate right now. And that's why this happened in Venezuela and Colombia. And then y'all got to understand that whole region sits along the Ring of Fire. So like, not only are the tectonic plates shifting, but volcanoes are active. There's one that they say could erupt in Colombia, and it started, erupting slowly, like spewing like the gases that day before the earthquake. But here's the thing that y'all have to understand. It really don't have to be one or the other. I believe that we are living in a time right now where there are strong spiritual and psychic forces at work, and they work in conjunction with nature. And I believe that we are living in strange times. I don't know if we're living in the last days, so to speak, but we're living in very strange times. And that's why we're all kind of living on the same frequency and vibration. Like, we live in a time where, y'all know what they say, men will be lovers of themselves. We live in a time where you got brother turning against brother, family turning against family. People are having a hard time emotionally connecting with other people. People are falling victim to despair. People are falling victim to their vices. Right? So all of that together, I think humans, we take for granted the strong psychic forces that we have as a collective. And then on top of that, you have people sitting at the top. See, I could really go deep with this. We don't know how powerful our energy is, but there are people sitting at the top that have knowledge of this energy and these powers that we know not, and they know how to manipulate them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have all this going on, and we're completely unaware of just how powerful we are. So we're just ceding our power, right? We're ceding our power. And a lot of people are giving up. They not fighting. People aren't fighting. Like, people aren't fighting for love. People aren't fighting for the good. People aren't fighting for friendship. People aren't fighting for decency, right? You just got everybody turning against each other. You got people, again, they choosing to fall victim to depression, despair, drug addiction, loneliness, meaningless sex, lust. All of this shit works in conjunction. And the earth feels it. That energy goes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you put it out, it goes out into the world. So all of these things are working together in conjunction with each other. I cried with them. My mom and baby were rescued. Gracias a Dios. They were buried under a building. I saw the destruction on TikTok on so many videos. It's just awful. Grown men are crying. It's terrible, y'all. It's terrible. Hi, Senor Rico. Serio, I am here in Cali. It's correct what Andre said about the actual experience of being in any building, let alone a high rise during this earthquake, was quite unnerving, to say the least. Prayers, are you and your family okay? Where are you at now? Where are you at now? Again, guys, I put the link in the chat. I'm going to put it in there again. Anybody who wants is welcome. Anybody welcome. You just got to cam up. You don't got to cam up on the panel, but when you're backstage, you got to cam up so I can see who you are. And let me say this. If you come and you D-bomb my live while we talking about such a serious topic, something is really wrong with you. Something is really wrong with you. Just checked online, and the death toll is at 250 as of today. It's sad. It's very sad. Very sad. Like, and y'all gotta understand, this is on top of, like, I gotta understand. I think last year they had a huge mudslide near Medellin. A lot of families were buried under the mud because there's a lot of poor people, and they would like go make houses in areas that is not government sanctioned, because you can't, like, the soil is not good. So there was like children in over there buried under mudslides. What up, Misha? I checked out your live. I meant to comment. I was listening to the live you did last night. It got me through my workout today. Girl, if you would like to come up, if you can, you don't have to, but you would like to come up here and talk about, what happened. We're talking about the earthquake in Medellin. This is Andre. I'm sure you know who this is from Love Crossing Borders. Him and his wife are displaced. For everybody who would like to, they're displaced, y'all. They can't get back into their apartment. I don't know when they're going to be able to. I don't know if it's safe. Everything has to be inspected. But, he's talking about how they were trying to get down from their apartment before the building collapsed. He had to stop and help some old people. But he said just stuff was just coming down as they were trying to, and they're in Cali, as they were trying to get out. Prayers up for Colombia. No, for sure, y'all, because Colombia, I don't care. Let me tell y'all something about Colombia. Y'all are going to see a lot of people that leave jaded comments because, like, they might have had a bad experience, trying to date out there. And I get it. Dating is difficult in Colombia, right? That don't take away from the fact that it's a lot of very good-hearted, amazing people in Colombia who would stop and give their last or share their last with the next person. You know, that's the Colombia that I know. That's the Colombia that I know.
Parking them in the surrounding area. So you had no street to really drive down because everybody took all their cars out in all the complexes and put them on the side around the parks, around the streets. So there were no streets to park. Down the street, the people that worked in the office building, they went through it. They barely survived it. Fortunately, we live in an area where the buildings are newer, so they made them earthquake proof. Now, mind you, Colombia hasn't seen a earthquake like this on the.
Something interesting that I learned when I was in Peru, and it's something that we should consider. You know, back in the day, we think of these people as like primitive, as if you know, they didn't have as good of technology or architecture as we did, but there was a civilization that existed in Peru, but even before the Inca. Y'all know the Inca was, they were colonized by Pizarro, the Spanish, but like the Inca were colonizers themselves. So the Inca, there were two civilizations that existed in Peru before the Inca. And the Inca were invaders and they took over the civilization before them. The very first civilization in Peru, what they would do is when they made their walls, they would place the bricks. How do I say this? You know how now when they place the bricks, they place the bricks vertically, right? And then they put, you know, the cement or the ceiling in between them. This civilization, I saw the structures with my own eyes. And they call it Lima civilization because it's so old they don't know what the name of this civilization was. They just know it existed because they found artifacts. They would place their bricks like vertically as if they were in a bookcase. And then guess what? They wouldn't cement the bricks. They would leave space in between the bricks. So what would happen was when there is an earthquake, the bricks would just flow. It would shift like this so that the buildings wouldn't fall down. And I think that we should look more into these type of archaeological technologies so that we can better prepare for these things today. Dib is in the studio. I can't see your picture. Can you cam up? Cam up. Hi, how are you today? Okay, I don't know if he was getting ready to do something weird, y'all. So I took him down. I don't know if he was getting ready to do something weird. Hi, Dib. How are you? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I'm gonna take him down, y'all, because it's people that I'm gonna remove him. Cause it's people that be on here acting weird, and I really don't have the time for that today. Honestly and truly. I ain't never seen them before, no way. Okay, let's continue.
A national scale for over 100 years. It's been a long time. Now, 30 years ago, like 27 years ago, in the Manizales area in the coffee region, this happened. But for something like this, is Andre has never experienced it. Her dad, who's 61, he's never experienced this. Older people who've been around forever never experienced this. We're used to experiencing, like, since I've been here, we've experienced 5 tremors. Like, you'll be sitting there watching television, right? And all of a sudden it just goes like for 5-10 seconds, and everybody calling each other. You know, I'm calling T-Mac and Medellin. Hey, did y'all feel that? And they like, yeah. And then you see a few, you see a few bottles broken in a liquor
Shout
store
out to
type of
T-Mac.
thing, but it was like real quick and fast. This one hung around, and it let you know it was gonna hang around because it started real slow, and it was letting you know, okay, get ready to run. And if you were lollygagging or playing, a lot of people got caught up. I know people that got out of their buildings that I personally know got out of their buildings right before the whole building collapsed, like right before it was done. It was collapsed. And so now you're thinking like, okay, you left your passport in this building, cell phones up there in the building. Okay, you got your car out, credit cards up in there. Everything, all your intangibles, all your cash is up in there. So you're thinking to yourself, like, man, I'm glad everybody made it out. Everything's safe. And now you find out that over 40 buildings around Cali has collapsed on people. Businesses, high rises, apartments. But this is nothing compared to, let's go back to the black part of
so that
Colombia.
goes back to what Kim was saying. You got 40 buildings collapsed. The death toll is at 250. No common sense gotta tell you it's gonna be way more than that. 40 buildings. Imagine how many of those are high rises. And that's why I say, y'all, you really taking a risk with your life when you live in a high rise building. You really are. Because y'all gotta think about it. There could be a fire and it break out on one of the floors. Can't get on the elevator. Anybody above the impact zone of the fire, it's going to be very difficult for you to get down. So like, we don't think about stuff like that. A building is on collapsing. Y'all got to think about, again, I'm going to bring up 9/11 and the Twin Towers. How many people that were coming down from the upper floors and they barely got out, or the building collapsed on them as they were coming down the stairs? So these are things that you have to consider. I would never live in a high-rise building. If I did, I have to live on one of the first 4 floors. I can't live at the top. Okay, I need to be able, here's the thing. If I can't jump out the window and survive the fall, I don't want to live there. Damn, and Medellin is all tall apartment. No, they have apartments that are not tall. It's just you gotta go live in like an older building, which to me is fine. I ain't never too good. If it's older and it's renovated, I will go live there. Y'all gotta understand too, like some of them apartments, like in Sabaneta, some of those floors in them high-rise apartments, they have a hard time getting water all the way up there. So I ain't never too good to go live in an older building. That's okay. I got them up out of here. Don't worry.
Choco, there's a fundraiser that they're having. Some of the fellas are having, and so I'm gonna drop the link for that. I think that's the only thing I know how to do when it comes to this, doing it from your cell phone live streams. And so what ends up happening is Choco, since they were the heart of it, they got the brunt of it. Like we saw videos out there where people just in their house are maybe like 2 stories, maybe 3. And by the time they got out, the house was just like to the ground, just all over the place.
I saw that.
And same thing with Buenaventura. Now, here's the part that kind of disappoints you. It's already bad enough in Choco. We're going to come back to my story and me and Andrea's story. It's already bad enough in Choco that they have very little to no Wi-Fi. Very little to no telecommunications with cell phones on a regular day. And I think it was 1996. This how remote or in the jungle this city is built. I mean, the state actually is a state of Choco.
I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. This says the video of the people on the metro cable in Cali was frightening. swaying back and forth and with women screaming. I would have lost my mind if I was there. I'm actually going to go show that right quick. I'm going to show that now. For those of y'all who don't know what the Metro cable is, it's a line. It's a part of the Metro system. There's one in Medellin, and people were on the Metro cable in Medellin when this happened too, y'all. So it's a part, there are places, and I have to explain this because a lot of people think that taking the Metro cable is a choice. Taking the Metro cable is a choice if you don't live in certain areas. See, when I get on the Metro cable, I'm going to go to Parque Arví because that's the only way there. You have to get on the Metro cable. But y'all have to think about it. The Metro cable exists only because there are certain parts of the cities where the buses and the trains, the metros, the train cannot go to because these people live high up on mountains and it's very dangerous trying to get up there. So they have to get on the Metro cable every single day. I remember 2 years ago in Medellin, this was in 2024, one of the Metro cables in Medellin fell down. And everybody in the box, I think it was 6 people in the box, died. And you know what those people that lived up in those areas had to do? They still had to get up and get on the Metro cable that same day. And just pretend like it never happened. It took me a whole year after that because I hadn't been on the Metro cable ever. When I heard about that, it took me a whole year to go to Parque Arví and get on the Metro cable. And I just had to tell myself, it's in God's hands. You're going to go when it's your time. You're going to go when it's your time. But I have this video I'm going to show y'all, and then we're going to get back to Andre's live. Okay. So guys, for those of y'all who don't know what the Metro cable, it's a line that sits high in the sky and these box cars go across the line. They just shaking and crying. This is Manizales. Look, it's just shaking. Let me make myself small so y'all can see. That's terror, y'all. I'd be scared on the Metro. When I got on the Metro cable, it bumped onto the side of, like, when it was coming into the station, it bumped onto the side and it was shook a little bit. Y'all, I almost lost it. And all the Colombians in the car, they was laughing at me like, damn, she's scary. Like, yes, I'm scared. So imagine being on one of those during an earthquake and you see the pole that's holding the lines up just shifting and swaying. You know what I'm saying? Now, what they were saying is that actually is probably one of the safest places that you can be during an earthquake. But still, that's terrifying. Like, it's scary. Hey, Unconditional Love. Hey, Boosted. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Okay, guys, we're going to get back to Andre's live. And Andre, this is Andre from Love Crosses Borders. Shout out to him and his family. Him and his wife, Andrea, they're in Cali. So they were in one of the most affected areas. They had to evacuate their building. He has to go live from his phone. He doesn't have his belongings. They had to get up out of there. So he don't have his laptop or nothing. So his Cash App, Love Crossing, is up for anybody. They're asking if y'all are going to donate to send it in a Cash App. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. And y'all, that could have been any of us. So this is what the community is really supposed to be about. We should be able to come draw support from each other when we need it, when it's necessary. No, I saw your super chat. I highlighted it. This one right here. You were telling me that you were in Cartagena. No, I saw somebody in my back jacking off right now. You said, not sure if you saw my super chat. Cell and internet isn't great because of the quake. I'm in Medellin right now. Medellin was hit, but the prices I'm seeing are more like, we're good. Just worry about the ones really hit. Thank you so much. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's people, like, it's good people in Colombia. And that's what they're telling me. Like, they're scared. They were shaken up, but they know it's people in other parts of the country. I got to understand, these people don't have much. So anything goes a long way. Again, for those of y'all who are looking for a trusted source to donate to, regardless of how you feel about him, Rob from Remote Living Gringo has a fundraiser going on. Y'all can go to his Instagram, Remote Living Gringo. He has a fundraiser going on. I have seen myself that they are buying the things that they said, the water, the diapers, the wipes. They're collecting it right now. Okay. I think they've collected over $3,500 so far. And just know, regardless if you like him, that is the place. That's a very reputable store. You know, the money is going to go where he says it's going.
They had, in I think it was 1996, the first 5 months of the year, over 40 children starved to death, just of starvation. That's how remote this state is, but it's 80% Black people. They had, a couple years ago, they had to deal with a malaria outbreak. That's how remote it is. But Chocó is a part of when Chocó and Buenaventura are port states and cities. What do I mean? A lot of the products that come into Colombia come through the Black towns and cities and states, but Black people don't even make no money off of it. So even though all of Barranquilla and all the rest of them are making money, Chocó is basically the most impoverished area in Cali, if not one of the most impoverished areas in South America, especially for a place that's a state. And so let's go back to our story. So once again, and my bad for the choke up, gentlemen, my bad for the choke up. You know, like I said, it just hit me. It ain't hit me at all the whole time, but I guess getting on live with you guys, it kind of just hit me. But
I understand.
I digress. Like I said, once again, guys, thanks for the support on the Cash App. Thank you for the support with the super chats tonight. If you guys could do more Cash Apps than super chats, we appreciate that more than anything. So now, like a few hours later, everybody gets the nerves to go back in, but it's mainly us men. Ain't no women going back up there. I know one older couple that tried to go up in there.
I want to go on the back up in there. That is terrifying. Imagine you were in a building. It's about to collapse. Again, I keep thinking about 9/11. Do y'all remember during 9/11 when that first plane hit? The first plane hit that first tower. I think the South Tower got hit first. So people evacuated, like they went downstairs. They were on the elevator. I think they went to like the Sky Lounge. And their bosses told them, go back up. It's okay. Y'all can go back up. Because they were getting ready to evacuate the North Tower. And then the bosses were like, hey, y'all go back up. So people that were getting ready to leave turned around and went back upstairs. And a lot of those people never made it back down. So me personally, I'm not going back inside. No time that day. During any type of, I know I'm not doing it. I'm not going inside. I gotta wait. It's gonna take a long time. I gotta wait. I need to go to a whole nother part of the city. I'm not going inside. I stayed in Torres de Cali a few months back. I would be horrified if that happened and I was on the 9th floor. Absolutely horrified. And again, imagine the people that were on. Again, I had a homegirl in Medellin. I got to understand. In Medellin, they was rumbling and tumbling. The buildings didn't collapse. Thanks God. Thank to God covered Medellin, it's only God that none of them buildings collapsed, because I think they were hit with like a 6.4. But them buildings was rumbling and tumbling. Not tumbling, but they was definitely rumbling. The building, the videos I've seen from inside those high rises in Medellin, it was only God. And even then, those buildings are gonna have to be inspected to make sure they don't fall. Because here's the thing, y'all gotta understand how this works. If another earthquake hits of that same magnitude, are these buildings gonna be able to withstand it? If I were you and you live in a high rise in either one of these cities, I would move. I would go find somewhere with just a few floors. That's just my advice. That's my opinion. You don't know, Mother Nature is cold. You be thinking, oh, it's not gonna backdoor, and then boom, it do. Yeah, people were jumping out the window in the towers due to no escape. That's why I can't live somewhere where if I can't survive the fall when I jump, if I have to jump out, I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there. I don't want to work there.
And the wife couldn't even make it. Me and Andre was looking at the wife, and she just was so shaken. And so the old man turned back around. It was like on the first, second floor. He just turned back around and went back down the steps with his wife because he knew that they couldn't go back in. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about not being able to go back in a second. We all knew this, that if we don't go back in to get our few valuable items, you can't go back in while they're doing the inspection. To make sure that if this building is still habitable.
Kind of like what happened during
just
Katrina.
Because you have an earthquake and the building didn't go all the way down, some people think the only people that had damage were the people that were in a building that crashed, or they escaped the building and the building it collapsed. Then you have to realize throughout the state of Colombia, the country of Colombia, there are still buildings such as ours that you don't know if you can live in that building. They need to check to see if you can live in that building for another week. It might collapse. Would it collapse in another day? Will it collapse in another month? Mm-hmm. So you have to wait. There are buildings right now that you can look at in the city. You like, if the wind blows hard, that building, that insurance building is going down. So a lot of buildings didn't collapse completely, but there's over 1,000 damaged buildings.
My homegirl, she's from the coffee region, and she was telling me how her family's good, but her boyfriend's family is displaced because his building is cracked. So you can't go back in there. Can't go stay in there. It's cracked. It doesn't even have to be an earthquake. It could be some type of other powerful natural disaster that causes these buildings to come down. So this is something to keep in mind. Me personally, I don't know if I would want to live somewhere, if I could go back living in a place where an earthquake had already hit. I don't know if I would be able to trust it. Especially if it was a high-rise building that I couldn't easily get out of. Wildfires all over Europe. Typhoon just hit China. Now this purecast, I'm telling you, it's a psychic, energetic force. You know what I'm saying? Some might call it the last days. I don't know if that's what it is. You can call it, but there is a energetic force. It's a collective force. And it's causing a shift in the earth. We living in strange times, y'all. Again, I'm going to drop the link. Anybody who would like to come up and talk about this topic with me, you're welcome. Please don't come up here with that foolishness.
Throughout Colombia, over 1,000. And so Bogota, we're going to go back to our story. Like I said, when I went back up the stairs and, man, I was shaking. I ain't going to tell you. I'm going to sit up here pretend like I was brave and I was 9/11. You know, I'm from the States, so I'm thinking about 9/11. I'm thinking about the Oklahoma City bombing. I'm thinking about all the buildings that went down, right? And so I'm thinking about anytime there was a fire in the building went down. And so I'm thinking like, okay, it's been a couple of hours, everything fine. So the men, and I said, I'm only 6 floors of 12. I said, okay, cool. So I went back in, grabbed cell phone, grabbed, credit cards, cash, forgot my passport. Ain't thought about that. And because I usually keep that in a private stash. So I wasn't gonna take time to go through all that. And so made it back down, made sure that some of our friends from the States that live in the same building with us, made sure that they made it back, because one of our friends, shout out to Sylvie and Nick. And I'm glad, and Nick, he's back in the States taking care of business. And I couldn't even imagine the feeling what he's going through with his brand new wife. They got married down here, even though they were in the States and they live, they're originally from the States, but they live here. And they got married here last year. To know that your brand new wife is by herself in Cali in the house with the dogs, and this happens, and you're back home in the States and you can't.
Shout out to Remote Living Gringo from Rob. I know, again, that's my friend. I know a lot of y'all don't like him, but for those of y'all who don't know, Medellin felt the earthquake. The buildings were rumbling. His wife and kid were there. Rob can't be in Colombia right now. He's waiting on his marriage visa. I think it should be done within a couple, this month or so. But he has to be out of the country right now while they process his marriage visa. He can't re-enter. So he's in the States right now. And, his wife and his son were in the buildings in Medellin during the earthquake. And so, take your emotions of how you feel about a person, and on a human level, you got to understand what people were really going through.
Can't do nothing about it, because he's going to be flying back soon. So we made sure that we got a chance to make sure she was fine. So when we saw her, and her mother lived in the building across the street, she moved in from the States. So her mother's building was fine. But our building is under you got to have the insurance inspectors come through for each apartment. And then you have to have the professional building inspectors come through for your apartment and your house. So once again, just because a building didn't collapse, that doesn't mean that it won't collapse. So you had people outside sleeping in hammocks. You had people sleeping in.
I'll never forget, I was in a library. This is when I was in Dallas, Texas, and I parked in a parking lot, and the police came into the library, and they were like, all y'all got to go evacuate y'all cars from this parking lot. And it was scary. And the reason being was because it was faulty. Somebody noticed it was faulty, and it could have collapsed at any moment. So that's a very, very difficult and scary situation to be with. And there was no natural disaster. It was just the damn structure began to give out.
Sleeping bags all in the open area, in the parking lot area. They do have an area here in Cali for if it's a hurricane or just something like that happened yesterday, where people could go to this tent area or this arena area. You know how people during the Hurricane Katrina, and all those people went to the Silver Dome. I think it was the Superdome in New Orleans, and they had the tents and everything. They have something like that here in Cali, so a lot of people were able to go there. And so people have been donating cash. We're going to be doing that. People are going to be donating a lot of water. People are donating their muscles just to help dig people out, and so. All of that took place. So I go back in, I grab a bunch of stuff. Debris is still coming down. You're still seeing all the cracks, and everything's about to, every time you step on a stair, you don't know if that stair is about to collapse because you can feel the weight of it. It's like I said, the building itself may have been made earthquake proof. That doesn't mean the stairs are earthquake proof. The drywall is earthquake proof. The paint, the mirrors that's on your walls or anything, that doesn't mean that the elevator is earthquake proof. So nobody can jump on the elevator. So a lot of things that people sit back and they think when they say, well, y'all were in a safer areas, earthquake proof. The building not collapsing probably was earthquake proof, but stuff collapsing on you
Mhm.
could happen. Like one of the ladies in Andrea's family that lived in the community of Andrea's family, uh, and she was running down the stairs. She made it past it was only three stories. She made it past the first stairs. As she was coming around the second stairs, the third set of stairs killed her. So for all you dudes that sit back and have something slick to say, like one area wasn't bad as another area.
Who is doing that?
Now let's go through the cities because I'm going to go back to one.
Let me tell you something. If you talking slick about anybody who had to experience a disaster and you didn't, you need to check yourself. I don't care if a building collapsed or not. Put yourself in people's shoes. Just imagine the terror going through that. Everything could have been okay. But just imagine you going through that with that building swaying, rumbling. You don't know if it's going to hold up. And then on top of that, you got your family. You might have your kids with you. So anybody talking slick and sending negative, you need to go, honestly, go pray. I ain't even gonna cuss y'all out tonight because I don't got that in my heart tonight. I ain't come on here to cuss nobody out. But you need to go get yourself correct with the Lord, honestly and truly.
We came down. What do we need to do? Why are we here? Where are we? And what to be answering all those questions. Like I said, guys, this might not be a long, it might be an hour at most, but I just want to let you guys know that we are all right. They cut off all telecommunications here in Cali for the most part yesterday. So barely anybody's cell phone was working. I just so happened to be driving past and stopped at a stoplight and noticed I got some bars. So real quick, if you guys saw me on Facebook, I put a message out real quick. Hey, we got an earthquake going on, blah, blah, blah. I put the earthquake information on the Facebook note. I say, we're all right, we're live, boom. After that, I had no communication with anybody the whole day.
I'm going to tell y'all another place I would never live. I know y'all like to, it sound luxurious. I would never live anywhere waterfront. Hurricanes, and then y'all got to understand when earthquakes and things like this happen, guess what that set off? A tsunami. So it's okay to live in a beach town or beach city. Don't live too close to that water. Don't live too close to the water. And always keep water. Oh, this is something y'all don't want to talk about. And when we talk about expating and living abroad, mind you, when I was in the United States, I was what you would call a prepper. What does that mean? I had enough food in my house to last for 6 months in the event of a natural emergency. And people thought I was crazy for that. But I learned remember we had that, if you're from Texas, y'all remember the winter storm that we had where we couldn't get outside? And then we had them rolling blackouts, and I only had lights in my house 2 hours out of the day. And guess what? We got electric stove, so you got to wait to cook something. And you couldn't get out to go get any water. We had to boil the water. I learned from then, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. So y'all got to imagine if that's how you have to be, if you have to stock and prep things when you're in the United States, you have to do that when you live in these foreign countries and you buy property and stuff out there, y'all. Because, for example, right now, Puerto Rico is going through a water shortage. You don't never just want to keep one in anything. It takes 3 days for you to be unalived because you haven't been able to drink water. So make sure that you're doing things like stocking up on water, rice, beans, and canned goods. Always. You don't have to have 6 months worth of food. What the goal is for you to have I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Let me put my other camera back on. Okay, so as I was saying, the goal is for you to have enough food to buy yourself some time, for help to get there. So even if you just have 3 days worth of extra food, or if you just have a week worth of extra food, it's to buy yourself enough time for either help to come or for you to figure out what your next move is. This is very important. Always do this. I live off of the coast of Mexico and experienced Category 3 hurricane. Only natural disaster I have experienced, never want to again. Yeah, it's terrible. Who are y'all looking for? Donation link on whose page? Are y'all talking about Rob? Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all want to donate to Rob, hit his DMs. Hit his DMs. I know for a fact he is doing what he's supposed to be doing with the money. I've seen all the supplies he's gathered. He has people on the ground. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep like kicking myself off of my camera because I need to get a new cord. I'm messing with the cord. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, those are some survival tips for my expats abroad who already live abroad. Make sure, okay, it's good to have fun. It's good to party. It's good to do all of that. Keep you in an emergency stash of water, rice, beans, canned goods like sardines, canned meats, all of that kind of stuff. You need to buy yourself time, and because Andre's going to talk about how they can't even go to the grocery store right now. And then you got to think about it. Nobody can withdraw money out the ATMs right now.
Yesterday until last night. Lights were out throughout the city. So, you had no lights. Many places didn't have any water. Collapsed. 80% of the city was shut down. So no schools, no businesses. It was a few. You could get some sourdough bread at a bakery type spots were open. But grocery stores and all that, none of that was open because they didn't want you to be in a grocery store. Another trimmer come through
And most of that
it
bread
collapsed
now
on
probably
you.
old.
Or they don't know how strong this, because right now the grocery stores are still closed. Why? They don't know how strong the structures is. So all these houses that are collapsed on people, you got those people trying to dig these people out. They've been digging out babies and everything. But at the same time, you got inspectors going from building to building to building. Got to inspect every building dang near in the city to make sure that people can go back in and keep their businesses going or go back in there and live. Now, so we're gonna talk about. I know I'm all over the place with this. We're going to talk about in a second. And once again, thanks for the cash apps, guys. Thanks for the super chats. I can't announce them because, like I said, I don't want to make a mistake and push the wrong button because y'all know I'm not used to doing it directly on the phone. I'm used to doing it with my computer. And we're going to be on Richie Max tomorrow night talking about this.
Again, y'all hit Andre's cash app, okay? Because here's the thing. If y'all send super chats on his channel, and I'm putting it up here, y'all. Anybody who wants to donate to Love Crossing, and it'll say Andre on there. I have his cash app. Donate to them. They can't get back into their apartment right now. They don't have most of their valuables and things like that. So hit him on Love Crossing with a cash app. Please, if you want to donate to anybody, at the very least, donate to another brother, another expat abroad.
And so each city, Medellin, So you reached out to the Medellin guys, they felt it, and it was different. They felt it. And it was strong out there. But a lot of guys in Medellin that were even on the 27th floor, because Medellin buildings are 24 floors, 27 floors, 36 floors. So that was the challenge with Medellin, that we're hearing that a lot of people in the high rises, but from what we're hearing, it wasn't as tempestuous as far as the damage compared to Choco, Buenaventura, Cali. Let's go to Bogota. Bogota had a nice little tremor, but nothing that you felt like destruction took place. A few buildings, a little damage here and there, but it really didn't hit Bogota like that. Now let's talk about the coffee region, the coffee triangle. Manizales, Pareda, Armenia. They got hit bad. Those older buildings, they got hit bad.
That shit pissed me off.
That we had been to in some of these coffee regions, beautiful cathedral churches. Just
that shit pissed me off. Not even, first of all, I'm a historian. Y'all know I used to be a history teacher in the United States. I was a very damn good history teacher. My kids had the highest scores in the district. I know y'all like to get on me and be like, she was a stripper, then she was a teacher. Well, I was a damn good teacher. I don't care. I know y'all think I'm ghetto, but when it came time to get the job done, I was the one they called. Do you understand? But I majored in political science in college. History was my minor. Geography was my third field of study. And I love cathedrals, Catholic churches. And they all have a certain type of energy. I don't know how to explain it. You just knew something divine was happening there, So when I seen those cathedrals destroyed, y'all got to understand, a lot of these cathedrals were built in like the 1600. A lot of these cathedrals in Latin America were built before there was a such thing as Jamestown. Like before there were even colonies in the United States. They were even built before Roanoke, which was like the first attempt at establishing a colony. I don't know if y'all know about that. You should. But what I'm saying is these buildings are like 400-500 years old, So, I mean, you can't get that back. They can try to replicate that. They could try to salvage as much as they can, but like a part of history is lost. Hey, Romeo, most of the cathedrals were built during the Tartarian Empire. Look at my historian. Are you welcome to come up here? Again, I'm going to drop the link. I don't have to, but anybody who wants to come up and give, you welcome, Romeo, but anybody who wants to come up and give their sentiments, their thoughts, their opinions on this topic and how you feel like we should, be moving in regards to these natural disasters as expats, as Americans living abroad, feel free to come up here. If you had anybody that was affected by it.
smashed, just destroyed by this earthquake. And like I mentioned before earlier, for you guys that weren't here earlier, some parts of the country received 10 seconds. Other parts, most of us received 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm telling you, an earthquake, take it from me, 30 seconds in an earthquake is like watching the last of an NFL game. It feels like it's 25 minutes of the last 30 seconds of an NFL or NBA game. That's how long it was. And so it's one thing to see it on TV or you see it in a movie. I'm telling you, bro, it is to see you and the person that you. Some of you dudes come down here and you by yourself. Some of you ladies come down here and you're by yourselves, and you ain't got no man. You ain't got nobody that you care about like that. But to sit back and see me having to make sure my wife is good, I'm good, my neighbors are good, my neighbors making sure we good, family reaching out to us, everybody on panic mode, but everybody trying to be as calm as possible. So the coffee region, they got hit hard. A lot of old buildings got torn down. Then when you thought it was safe to go in the water, a volcano starts erupting.
Yes, that's what's
So now
going
there's a
on.
volcano that's about to erupt in the coffee region.
There are 6 right now. There are currently around the world, including one in Colombia. There are 6 volcanoes that are on orange alert, which means it's very possible that these volcanoes are going to erupt in the next couple of weeks. And there is a volcano in Colombia right now that is excreting what is it called? Pyroclastic ash. I had to go back to like my geology class. That's what it's called, pyroclastic ash.
Already started the smokestack, the Pompeii smokestack, right? And it's on orange alert last night. What does orange alert mean? That even though you see the smoke going up, it hasn't erupted yet and hit all the surrounding small towns like Pompeii. So that's scheduled to happen in the next few days to a week. So
and I will be leaving that
Colombia's
area.
got that going on in the background. A lot of guys don't know about, we got a lot of volcanoes here in Colombia. And so we've been to a couple of them. And so,
and I say that from a place of privilege because many people don't have a place to go. But if you have family in those areas, encourage them to leave if they can and go stay with family members. That's some shit you don't want to wait out because you can't control when that pirate, like he was saying, Pompeii. I don't know if y'all know about Pompeii. This was a city in ancient Rome. The hurricane, was it Vesuvius, erupted and completely covered the city. And now they're still finding in cases of people like this or with their babies and the dogs and stuff like that. That ash moves fast. And once it gets going, you can't outrun it. You can't outrun it. So when you are living in around an area where a volcano get any type of alert, move around. And a lot of these places, there are a lot of volcanoes in Ecuador. If you're out there, I would be very concerned if I was in Ecuador right now. Because y'all got to understand, Ecuador felt that tremor yesterday too. It wasn't as bad as Colombia, but they felt it. So first it was Venezuela, then it was Colombia. I would be very concerned. And if I lived anywhere near a volcano in Ecuador, I would move around right now. I would definitely be moving around. Hey, Dwayne, yeah, for sure. I've been talking about Choco. I came to this live late, but make sure you put a spotlight on Choco, please. Also, Buenaventura. Yeah, I've talked about both of those places, but ain't nothing wrong with talking about it again. So for those of y'all who are just now tuning in, Choco is the epicenter, is the state where that earthquake happened, right? And to me, this is not really of much importance because humans are humans and people are people. But I do know it's important to a lot of y'all, so I'm going to speak on it, okay? Because this is a Black travel space, right? Now, to me, it wouldn't matter what color they were. But y'all got to understand, this is the poorest region in Colombia. This is where a lot of Black people live. And I guess it is important because when we want to see Black Colombians, that's where you go. You go to Choco, the food is good over there. It provides a lot of culture. And when I say Black Colombians, I'm not talking about people that look like me. I'm not talking about biracials. These are pure Black Colombians. Majority of the people that live there. They look more African over there than African Americans. They're more like Africans than African Americans over there, if that makes sense. But it's the poorest region, y'all. They barely have Wi-Fi. They barely have internet. And this is on a regular day. And on top of that, they already are dealing with the effects of a long-standing civil war. They're over there, all the guerrillas, warfare and stuff that happens over there by then. So outside of this, you know what I'm saying? When this is over, don't forget Choco. Don't forget Buenaventura. People like to say, oh, Colombia is safer than the United States. It's not. It's safer for you because you live in Medellin. It's safer for you because you live in Cartagena. You don't live in Choco. You don't live in Buenaventura. They keep all that on that side so that you don't have to deal with it in Colombia where you live. But there's very much a very long-standing civil war going on. And it's only going to get worse because, and I'm not blaming him because I understand why he's doing it, but it's only going to get worse because the new president, El Tigre, has vowed to wage war on all the guerrillas. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I was laying flat on the floor waiting to go down 5 stories, but Medellin, for the most part, was good. I couldn't have imagined. Choco, Colombia, yeah, Choco. So yeah, again, there are people who I think on Andre's page, I'll find it. I find when there are some fundraisers that are specifically for Choco. I believe Andre, who I'm reviewing right now, has posted it, and I'll try to find one and post it on my channel so that when I go and I'll put it in this live, it's gonna have to be afterward, and then I'll put it on the one when I go tomorrow. For those of y'all who specifically just want to donate to Choco. If you just want to donate to the relief funds in general, no matter where they're at, go to Rob on Remote Living Gringo on Instagram. He has a fundraiser, and the reason why I keep pushing his is because I know the funds are going to go where they're supposed to go. You have to be very careful because there are people looking to take advantage in these situations, and you want to make sure that the money is spent where it's supposed to be spent. Thank you. Yes, y'all. Y'all please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Thank you.
You have that. So the coffee region is waiting for the volcano. At the same time, they're dealing with the aftermath of the earthquake. So it wasn't Bogota that got hit. So on some of the news headlines with some of the Bogota news dude, I saw a dude being interviewed by Anderson Cooper, and he was a Bogota news reporter, and he was trying to sell it to Anderson Cooper on CNN as if Bogota was hit. That no.
I don't think it got hit hard, but I do believe
the coffee region was hit hard. The hardest hit area was the black area. Chocó and Buenaventura were the areas that were hit the hardest. And like I said, on a regular day, they have horrible Wi-Fi. They don't have the best medical system in hospitals in Chocó or Buenaventura. And they don't have the best telecommunications as far as telephones.
Guys, if y'all would like to send in donations, go to Rob's Instagram. Here it is in my chat at Remote Living Gringo. I believe you need to send him a DM or I don't think Skinny, he doesn't have a link up yet. You still got to DM him. DM him. He looks at his DMs. I know he look at them all the time. DM him and tell him you would like to donate. Your money is going to go where it's supposed to go.
So these people that are black people here that are from Choco, that are from Buenaventura, can't even call their family. So even though you might have Wi-Fi in Cali, back home in the Everglades state, the jungle-ish, I don't want to say jungle, but the more rural-ish state of Choco and the ocean area of Buenaventura, they're still looking for people to even show up to help dig out people. They don't even have enough people to dig out all the bodies. So they're going through that. But they don't talk about it on the news. They just talk about Cali, which we were the second worst. Don't get me wrong. Dwayne, we had over 100.
Dwayne, let me explain something to you. I'm not trying to come at you sideways. That white dude that is on the anti-gringo campaign that thinks he's the savior to Medellin, first of all, that's my friend. And I don't see what he's doing the way that you see that he's doing. But we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, when we have a situation like this, egos got to get put aside. That white dude is collecting money or victims of the earthquake, and he's showing and proving where the funds are going. He's showing the supplies. He has people on the ground who he's sending the money to, and they're collecting the supplies. This is not about how you feel about Robert. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about nobody's ego. This is about, we have somebody who knows how to properly manage and allocate funds. And at this point in time, he the right man for the job. Now, if you don't want to donate, there are other means to donate. So if you don't want to go through Rob, you don't have to. The reason why I'm promoting that as a channel of donation is because I can put my name on it and I know where the funds are going. I can't speak up or vouch for anybody else. But if you have found somebody that's more reputable that you would like to donate to, or not at all, it's a choice, you don't have to, then by all means, y'all be my guests. Donate where you feel comfortable donating. But I'm going to recommend where I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, your money is going to go to the people in need, and it's going to go towards supplies for people in need. And it's that simple. It's that simple. You know, make sure that y'all check out, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Make sure that y'all check out local Afro-Colombian organizations as well for donation. Yeah, I mean, again, everybody's free to donate where they feel comfortable. This is where I feel comfortable promoting. But there are other organizations, Afro-Colombian organizations, I don't know them, so I can't put my stamp on it. But you might know one of these organizations and they're more reputable. Go with them. Go where your gut tells you. It's because it's not for us. Like, nobody, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not for us. Big respect to Robert for sure. Moreover, when the perception of gringos so poor, this is a great way to work towards repairing the image. No, exactly. Exactly. I told y'all fellas in the space, send your shorty in Colombia, or a girl that you go to that you hit up, even if you're just sleeping with a girl. Send her some bread today, especially if she's in one of the affected areas. You know, her building might not have collapsed, but she might not be able to get to a grocery store. A lot of those working girls in Cartagena, they're from Cali, especially the Black girls. They're from Cali. They're from Choco. Go ahead and bless that game. That's the way to donate. You don't got to go through these ordinances. Just help her and her family put some grocery or something. You know, this the time to trip. If there ever was a time, this was the time. Hi, Mariah. I got a big donation right after Mariah says she will come together for this big cause and support the Colombian people with our guy, big homie. Hi, Mariah. I got a big donation. What are you trying to say? You want me and Homies Hub to get on here, and what do you want us to do? I'm trying to understand. I mean, if you just want me and Homies Hub to say, hey, support Colombia, I'm not finna get on here and talk to him about personal issues, because really he's the only one with the issue. He just needs to get over the fact that I'm a single mom that's an expat. Like, that's his whole hang up. You know, he needs to get over it. He needs to get over the fact that I'm a single woman and I'm allowed to date if I want to or if I don't want to. Right? And when I mean by single, like unmarried. He needs to get over the fact that I'm unmarried. And go find his wife if that's what he's concerned about. By the anti-gringo campaign, one of his latest videos is him sharing propaganda about how the FBI and all these U.S. agencies are working to kick out passport bros, which is BS. It was a simple press conference. So you think passport bros are not, you think these countries You got to think about this, Dwayne. These countries, they have the ear of the president. They can call him. When Petro was in office, he called Donald Trump to talk to him. Okay. Brazilian government, they called Donald Trump. Do you know what's one of their main culture war issues going on in these countries right now? Passport bros. It's like front cover story news. It is. It really is. And that's not me. I don't care whether it is or it ain't. I'm just telling you it is. You think that these presidents aren't in communication with Donald Trump about that? Like, I'm being so for real. You think it don't come up in conversation? I'm pretty sure it does. Hell, they bring up lesser shit. So you are sadly mistaken if you think that's not a topic of discussion. Especially, you got to understand, their people are putting pressure on them about it. I told y'all in Colombia, they make whole documentaries in Spanish about passport. Yes, they do. Y'all don't see them because it's not on y'all in y'all algorithm. Ray Condor had to come up here and explain that to y'all. Y'all think it's a very big issue, bigger than what y'all understand. It's a very, if you want to like win on a talking point as a mayor, as a senator in Colombia, or as a president, if you want to win the culture war talking points, Passport Bros is an easy layup. It's just as bad as illegal immigration. Y'all know how Fox News gets on there and talk about illegal immigration, and that drives people to the voting polls? Think of Passport Bros as that, only it's far less polarizing. What I mean by that, pretty much majority of the country is on board with that culture war issue. It's not a situation where you got half of the country that's pro Passport Bro and half of the country that's not. No. If there's a uniting issue, it's the Passport Bros. And it's an easy win. It's an easy slam dunk. And that's not me hating on y'all, or that's not me saying y'all shouldn't be able to go to their countries or anything like that. That's not for me to say. I'm not a citizen. Whether y'all can or y'all can't, that is completely up to the people. Yeah, I took my kid to me in Colombia. Do y'all know there are other people? We have a whole parents group in Colombia with over 400 parents. There are single moms, dads, and all kind of families in Colombia that are American. Tricking for good, haha. No, but I sending some money to people I know down there. Yeah. Also, I've been with my wife for 6 years. I got a house in Uraba. Been in Colombia, moving since 2014. Just spreading what I've seen of him. Of Rob. I mean, I know him outside of this whole YouTube thing, and I can honestly say, y'all know I'm going through his sales academy, right? Of my own accord. It's a very good academy. People keep saying Rob is in the space trying to use Black people for money. I promise y'all he don't need us. The majority of people that are paying for his sales academy are white. It's more white people in the United States that travel and move abroad than Black people. That's a whole, like, there's more money over that way, right? And he's making money from that way. I'm not even gonna hold you. I seen it with my own eyes. He's making money from that way. He don't need us. He really don't. But that's the narrative. So people are gonna run with it. It is what it is. But I can honestly say Rob is a very good person with good intentions, and I judge people by the contents of their character and not the color of their skin. It's always a problem when Black men travel to other countries and take their women. We can't help their women choosing, but the most traveled demographic on earth is the white woman, and she's effing. I mean, I'm not going to argue with none of that. I mean, but at the end of the day, I have to accept first of all, there have been some bad behavior and flashiness, but that's neither here nor there. Because I understand not everybody's engaging in all that, and it's really hurts the people that are going to these countries trying to do the right thing, like you, Dwayne, Mary, sitting down somewhere. But like at the end of the day, the people in these countries have a right to decide what type of tourism they wanted from who, and there's nothing we can say or do about it. You know, we can only deal with the consequences of how their people feel and the pressure that they put on their politicians, and that is what it is at the end of the day. White women been in the most random places everywhere around the world, effing men everywhere. It's a problem because black men do it. But let me tell you the difference. White women are not promoting that lifestyle. So it was never going to be a problem because they don't get on the internet and talk about it. White women are not promoting that lifestyle. They don't promote it to each other. They don't get on the internet and promote it. They don't have a whole organization or they don't have a term for it or nothing like that. They just go do it, and that's it. They don't talk about it. So, is it just because they're white women, or is it because how they move? You have to think about these things, and if you're honest with yourself, you're gonna have to attribute it more to how they move. Because I promise you, if there was a big movement of white women that were spreading that mentality and that mindset, I promise you, it's a whole bunch of white red pill men and stuff like that. A lot of white men on the internet, they would be talking down on them. But they're not doing that so they don't get attention. Let's start with donation fundraising tonight. Put all your madness aside and let's get together for a big cause to fix our image in Colombia. No one better than our two favorite. But I mean, he can do that on his side and I can do it on my side. If we don't gotta get on the same channel for that. He can do it on his side and I don't see what would be the point in us interacting. He can do that on his side and I can do it on my side. And honestly, because of the way now that I know that Colombian immigration is watching us hard, we all like on a list, because of the way he's talked about and the things he's shown on his channel in terms of Colombia, I really would not like to be associated with him at all, to be honest. Just for the sake of me wanting to continue to travel to Colombia and not have a problem. So he can do that on his channel. I can do what I do on my channel. It's not a problem. I really don't have nothing negative to say about him, right? This is not about him right now. But I really, honestly and truly, it's no beef. I don't want to be associated with him. It's because how they move. Okay, yeah, that's the valid point. I'll give you that, because these white women hoeing everywhere. Yeah, but nobody sees it or knows it. Yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Almost 100 plus deaths here in Cali alone. We've had over 800 people that have been injured in one way or another. We've lost over 40 to 100 buildings here in Cali, and many more to collapse anyway. We've been displaced like immigrants. Like, you guys are wondering, okay, where is Andre and Andrea? Are they safe? Are they all right? As of today, yes, we are safe, because Andrea's grandma just had a beautiful apartment renovated, and she's in Medellin, and she's spending time with the family there. So she's always there. So she's had this new apartment sitting here furnished for the.
Let me clarify, Dwayne. Content creators. Yeah, so if you don't make content, you have nothing to worry about. When I say we, I'm including myself. They're watching us all. They know us. If you make content about Colombia, they know you. So we have to watch what we do. And I'm including myself in that. I don't sit up here and think, okay, I don't think I'm exempt. No, I'm not out there doing pay for play and showing women or stuff like that. That doesn't make me exempt from being under scrutiny by immigration. That doesn't make me exempt from being guilty by association. So I watch how I step. The same advice that I give y'all, I take from, like, that I'm giving the other content creators in the space, I take for myself. I don't think I'm exempt from any of that criticism. Speaking of natural disasters, there have been talks about America not being fully prepared for one because our infrastructure is falling apart. That's true. That's why I'm telling y'all, regardless of if you're in the United States or if you are in Latin America, but especially if you're in Latin America, you need to have a supply of water. You need to at least, again, you need to have enough water to buy you some time. Have enough food to buy you some time. You don't got to have 6 months worth of water and food. But if you can just start having, hey, at least I'm going to have 2 weeks worth of water. At least I'm going to have 2 weeks worth of canned goods. 2 weeks worth of rice and beans. It buys you time. And when you are in a natural disaster, every minute matters. Figure out ways you can heat your food. Put a boogie bag in your car. Do y'all know what that is? A boogie bag is something that, like, you have emergency tools and supplies, or maybe some foods, or maybe a means, some tools that can help you hunt, just in case you're in a natural disaster and you get stuck and you can't get to your house and you're in your car. I had all this stuff when I was in the United States. They had a massive earthquake. Death toll 250. Most affected areas are Choco and Buenaventura, which are like black areas of Colombia, and then Cali, where Andre did his live from today. Him and his wife are displaced. So y'all donate to Love Crossing Borders Cash App. Help a brother out. It's going directly to somebody affected. A lot of buildings, Cali, there are deaths in Cali, there are deaths in the coffee region, historical cathedrals in the coffee region, smashed, gone, buildings toppled, crumbled. Yes. Where are you from, AM1?
The longest. And she comes back periodically. And so she said, you guys can stay in my apartment on the south side. So that's what we're doing. We're over here on the south side. So that's why you see a different background. And I brought one of the lights with me, type of thing, because we were able to go back today. But you had to go back in before the inspectors came. So we had to go back early. Andrea went in. Her heart was just broken because, like I said, I'd already seen what the inside damage was. She hadn't.
And I think
then
they
we
own
saw
their
our
property.
neighbors. Remember I told.
So imagine you invested into a property. I don't know if insurance is going to cover this, but they own their property. This is their home. And it's damaged. No, the building didn't collapse, but it's damaged severely. Okay, check on your friends, AM1. I'm in Atlanta, but I had a long-term girlfriend in Medellin 2 years ago. Wow. I work for an American company that was half Colombian. Yeah, call your friends, AM1.
I told you guys a while back. I told you guys I got a neighbor. He's an English speaker. Very well off.
AM1 Medellin. I think they felt it. It was like a 6.4 when it hit Medellin. So the buildings were like, my friends sent me video of what was going on in their buildings. And, a lot of them, they evacuated the buildings. But them buildings, luckily, no buildings collapsed in Medellin. But the way them buildings were rumbling, tumbling, and shaking, you would have thought they would. You would have thought at any moment they was going to come tumbling down. Thank God they didn't. You don't make bad content about Colombia, though. It's the male content creators with the creep cams of females and the hood dudes coming in the airport with females in their phones. Yeah, Dwayne, but what I was saying is because he wanted me to come collab with Homie's Hub, and I'm not interested in, like, outside of the beef. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't got no beef with him. I don't care about Homie's Hub, to be honest. I just be addressing the stuff he be saying about me. I really don't care. He not nobody I care to even watch, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is I don't want to look, I know I don't make bad content, but I don't want to look like I'm friends with certain people. I'm gonna just be honest. So I would not associate him just off of the strength of the content he makes. And I know from what y'all told me that not all of his content is about the girls, and y'all say he has very useful information too. Um, I couldn't tell you, but I also know via his thumbnails and things like that, and some of the things I heard him say, the type of lifestyle that he promotes there. And I don't think immigration would look upon that fondly. So I don't want to be associated with him. Thank you so much for the jewels, Jam, thank you so much, LSSC USA. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It was felt in Panama and Ecuador. And for those of y'all who don't know, Panama used to be a part of Colombia. That's why we have the Panama Canal. Because in order to build the canal, the Panamanians fought for their freedom because Colombia didn't want the United States to build the canal. So basically, the United States backed a rebellion in Panama so they could succeed and make a land deal for the canal. Because Colombia didn't want them to build it. Magnitude 7.4 earthquake, the entire country felt it. Yeah, they did, Joe. Oh, no, homie's hub, he's a freak show, records women in the gyms. I've at migration to his pages numerous times. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like, at this point, it's not even a matter of, I don't like him. I would never come together for a collaboration. He could come apologize to me today. I just don't want to be associated with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be associated with him. And it is what it is. I have much I'm not doing it. Thank you, Tiny Sags. I appreciate you for the jewels.
He loves the blues. He loves BB King. So he comes, he's the guy that our apartment next door is next to us. His apartment is his man cave. So his wife allows him to have a whole apartment to himself to listen to his jazz. He likes Down to the Bone, Boney James, Paul Hardcastle, but his favorite is BB King. He has excellent jazz collection, so he's always playing jazz. His apartment was destroyed. And so we're looking at his apartment like, goodness, we went through a lot, but he went through a lot. So you got to wait for this adjusters to come through. You got to clean up, it's broken glass everywhere. It's bad, man. It's bad. And so each room's got little cracks in the wall and different damages. So you got to wait for like I said, once the insurance adjusters come, you're not allowed to go in your apartment or into the building. You got people that got whole holes through their door. It's almost like I don't know you let somebody throw a brick through somebody's front door. And you're looking like, this is crazy. And like I said, even going up the stairs, coming down the stairs, there is still so much you don't know. Like I said, the one lady going down the stairs, she got smashed. She got smashed from the stairs that she just came down and she died. And there are many incidences that are like that. And so this is not we want y'all to feel sorry for us because we feel blessed because we're alive. We feel blessed because we're alive. We have come to the conclusion that we are done with apartments forever. And so we're going to be looking for a house.
First of all, Andre, don't be prideful. Y'all shout out to Andre from Love Crossing Borders. It's not about feeling sorry for you. Y'all went through something very traumatic and very terrible, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not about feeling sorry. You didn't ask for that to happen. That shit happened to y'all. So again, it's not about feeling sorry at all. I would want somebody to step in the gap and help me. And all of us would. All of us would. And that's why I'm telling y'all right now, if you can, send some love Andre's way. He and his wife, they don't know if they're going to be able to get back into their apartment. There's damage done to their apartment. They're in Cali. A lot of people lost their lives in Cali. A lot of people The buildings tumbled and things like that in Cali. So if you can support the brother, send him a cash app. He being, prideful a little bit. He a man. He a man. At the end of the day, but if you can, y'all bless him.
For over the next couple of months. And I'll still see you guys at the conclave, things like that. And I'll still be coming on a regular basis. Like I said, I'll be with Richie Mack tomorrow talking about this on his show. But the next part that I would want to talk to you guys about is in regards to what's next for Cali. There's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take Cali at least 4 or 5 years to get back on track.
Oh yeah, minimum.
You're going to see people driving their cars like everything is nothing's changed, but it has. People have changed. The community has changed. I've changed. Andre has changed. Her family. A lot of us who are already here have changed because we've never experienced this. Nobody can prepare you for an earthquake. I'm from Florida. I'm ready for some hurricanes. Tropical storms, I got you. I know how to board up some houses.
No, sir.
I know how to evacuate. But when it comes to an earthquake, there is no evacuation plan. There is no boarding up houses like in a tropical storm or earthquake. A hurricane. There is no preparation. There is no anybody that would say, I would have did this, I would have did that. You wouldn't have did a damn thing. You'd have sat your ass down, wonder what the hell was going on for a split second like the rest of us, ran up out your spot and watch your shit collapse just like the rest of us did. So all you do is that say, I would have did this, I would have did that. Yeah, it's easy to say that until you're in one of those 10 that we've had in 2026. 2026, we've had over 10 around the world, 7+ earthquakes. So 7.4, 7.5, 7.1. We've had those, at least 10 of them on this planet, whether it was Venezuela a couple months ago, last month, whether it was Japan, whether it was Mexico. So we've had 10 around the world, and it's only we're barely halfway through. Now, let's talk about the Petronio Alvarez, the African American Festival, right? The African American Festival was supposed to start this Wednesday. Over 600,000 people were supposed to come, like last year. 5 days of free concerts from Black people from where? Buenaventura and Choco were the main performers. Main people that had recipes. Main people that were the cooks. Main people that were part of the fashion shows that they have every year. Main people that are part of the rap show and the Afrobeats celebration that they have every year for the Afro Petronio celebration. So this was the 30th year celebration. 30th year celebration. Not that whole area, but much of that area has either collapsed or on its way to collapse. So the area where we were supposed to even have the festival is not even habitable to even have an event. So last night they made an announcement to cancel the festival. So I reached out to Flyboy Way. I reached out to Kings and Dreams. I reached out to my brother David. I reached out to T-Mac. Reached out to Will and a bunch of other you guys that were Uriah. Shout out to Uriah. I reached out to a bunch of you guys that I kind of personally knew that I figured was going to be coming down here for the festival because I didn't want you guys. Now you still coming. Shout out to you guys, but it's not only because of what happened in Choco. People are not. They canceled the festival. They canceled the festival because there's too much death and sadness and loss going on in the country. It's just.
This ain't the time
right now in Colombia.
This ain't the time.
Anybody that's trying to come to Colombia, at least this month, if you trying to party, you're going to have some pay-for-play chicks that's going to say, it ain't that bad. They ain't in Canada.
Don't come down there with that foolishness.
They ain't.
It's the time. Y'all know I normally tell y'all I don't care. If y'all go down there and do that, just keep it off of that. Now is not the time. I'm not saying don't go. Now is not the time to go down there with that foolishness, especially if you're going to affected areas. And then if you're going to places like Medellin, you don't know. Y'all got to understand, a lot of people, Medellin is like the California of Colombia. So a lot of people have moved there from these areas, and they have affected family members that are affected. So don't go down there with that foolishness. Now not time. Wait a little bit. I'm not saying don't go. Don't go down there with foolishness, is what I'm saying. If you're going down there purely for the foolishness, I will reschedule my trip. Yeah, there are a lot of Venezuelans.
In the coffee region, they in Medellin. So some of you dudes that's in Medellin, y'all still partying? That's because it wasn't that bad in Medellin compared to some of you dudes that still going to Cartagena, Barranquilla, Santa Marta. They didn't feel nothing. They slept good yesterday morning and last night. So the Atlantic coast, the northern region of Colombia, they didn't feel anything. Some guys say they may have felt a slight tremor, but most guys that I talked to from Cartagena and from Barranquilla, they were asking about us. But if you think you're about to come to Cali and you gonna party the weekend away, anybody trying to party like that, dude? These people that lost their mamas and their cousins, they lost their house. People are just going to work,
you know what I mean by foolishness.
Just to have some dollars to try to find a few places to go back, to try to get a new home. People have lost everything. It's people that everything is under that rubble. There is no, well, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll dig through my apartment building and I'll find all my stuff in the rubble of my apartment building. Nobody dig through a building. So when you lost it, you lost it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, Cali gets so many tremors that you don't know if we're going to get another one like Choco got today. And it was only a 3.4. But they still had over 40 tremors in think about it, 40.
See, Andre, this is scary. This is something, because y'all got to understand, all of this shit is connected. So we coming off of the hills of Venezuela. Colombia shares the border with Venezuela. All of that used to be one country. I don't know if y'all know that. It used to be Gran Colombia. Venezuela, it was Venezuela, Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. All used to be one country. After they gained their independence from the Spanish Empire, they were, Simón Bolívar was the leader of it. So it was all one country. So I'm over here like I'm like, could another tremor hit? Because that's all along that ring of fire, y'all. So I'm like, is this gonna ricochet over to Ecuador? Because parts of Ecuador felt this earthquake. Is Peru gonna feel it? Y'all know they have active volcanoes in Ecuador too. A lot of active volcanoes over there by Quito. I was just over there last year. So I know that people in that region are holding their breath because all of that is connected. That's like going to New Orleans to party on Bourbon Street after Katrina. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Don't be, come on now. There's other places to go for that. Normally with stuff like this, there are signs, shit start ramping up. So you said when I was in Cali earlier this year, Cali had a small earthquake. I was laying on the bed and it was moving. Can y'all hear this music? It's a neighbor across the street. Y'all see, it's 10:37 on a weeknight. It's 10:37 and it's Monday. I don't mind people playing their loud music during the day, but this person has that music, or the weekend. This person got their music blasting like people don't got to get up and go to work in the morning. It's a Tuesday night. I don't understand. I really don't. I ain't never seen this. It's so, to me, that's narcissistic behavior. Can't stand that about Latin America. It's very narcissistic, self-serving, and inconsiderate. And again, it's not, I can understand it's Friday, Saturday. Bruh, it's too, for a fact, people got to get up and go to work in the morning and you doing that shit. It's not a question. Yes, it's the weeknight. People got to get up. Kids got to go to school. Colombia stayed having music blasting, bro. Outside my apartment, there was a woman with the speaker singing karaoke. I wanted to tell that bitch to callate, but I was a visitor in the area and no one cared. I'm surprised the neighbors don't say nothing. Again, during the daytime, no problem. Ma'am, it's almost 11 o'clock at night and you got that music on full, but this is across the street. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, because I have my settings to where it should cancel out background noise. And I might have to still go in and try to edit it out or mute that music out of my video so I don't get a copyright infringement. But damn, bitch.
24 hours. Like, it's almost like it's like every time they took a step in Choco or Buenaventura, then we get another. And then when you thought it was just tremors, then you wake up the next morning today and they get a 3.4 real earthquake again after being the epicenter of this whole thing. They were the centerpiece, Choco, the black area. So let's keep the black area in prayer. Buenaventura, Choco. And like I said, let me see if I can drop this. When
I was in Colombia and Medellin, they at least had a cutoff time for the fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they would blast that music loud. But like on the weeknights, they was not cutting up like this. Unless it was like a football game, a big football game or something. They knew to turn that shit off after a certain time on the weeknight. And on the weekend, yeah, they didn't care. This bitch got her shit blasted, and it's a regular Tuesday night. She don't give a fuck about the kids in the neighborhood. She not giving a damn about nobody going to go to sleep. Nobody getting up to work. I don't like that. To me, that's like to me, like I just know a person like that is inconsiderate and a narcissist. Like I already know that person don't give a fuck about nobody. What up, Capo? You want to come up and give your opinion on the matter? The whole region is on notice. These month-to-month earthquakes mean the big one's coming soon. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I want to go back in December for Christmas, and I probably will. But if I go back, I'm not bringing my daughter with me. She gonna go with her dad. That whole time I'm there, she gonna have to go with her dad. Cause not right now. She can't come with me over there. And when I go, I'm not staying there. I ain't staying there. No high rises. I'm gonna be over there in an old ass Airbnb that's remodeled in Envigado. That's 3 stories high max. I don't give a damn about what y'all got to say about me. I don't gotta live how people want me to live because it make them comfortable. Not they piss Capo off. This nigga summoned a 7.4 earthquake. Nah. He loved Colombia. I don't care what he say. He would never wish that on them. He would never wish that on them. Like I know it broke his heart when he saw that. I arrived at my Airbnb at midnight and the music was blasting throughout the whole street. And who was the abuelas, grandmas playing salsa and dancing? That's common in Buenos Aires. Oh, where's Buenos Aires? In Argentina. It's because them old folks, this is an old lady down here. Her bitch ass ain't got to get up and go to work. So she don't give a fuck about nobody else.
Blaming on my head, not my heart. This is where you guys can donate to help Choco. There's a few brothers that are from the States that work with the Black community for years. Shout out to those brothers, Chris, and all those guys out there in the WhatsApp groups. And they are having a fundraiser, and they are always helping the Black community.
Okay, so no. For those of y'all, I'm gonna pull it back up, y'all. For those of y'all who want to specifically help Choco and you want to help the Black community, you need to go to Love Crossing Borders, his last video on Andre's channel. And hold on, I'm gonna pull it back up. And in his description box, there's a link to where y'all can donate, okay? So that's for those of y'all who are specifically want to help Black people out. And it is actually will be doing good because, again, those regions, Choco, Buenaventura, honestly and truly, they probably going to be the last to get some assistance. Everyone keeps saying, I sent the earthquake. Y'all got to chill. No. Capo would not wish that on them. I was sitting at the coffee shop working on my laptop, and a woman set up a speaker right next to me and started singing for money. Yeah, they get on the locals' nerves with that. The locals hate that. And in Envigado, actually, y'all, if y'all go around Parque Envigado area now, I was very surprised the last time I was over there. They had police on certain streets when people would set up their music and start blasting and singing. The workers, though, I wouldn't say they was police, but y'all know they have the city people that be working and ticketing people. They was going in the buildings and getting them out and telling them to leave. Like, you can't be over here with that. Yes, it's the same one that was playing the soul music. God dang. You follow me on Instagram. God damn, this heifer don't know when to stop partying. And it's cool during the daytime, but god damn. She finally cut that music off. Choco was poor to begin with. It doesn't help. No, it don't at all. It don't at all. Okay, let me see where we at in the video.
Tropical storms, I got you. I know how to board up some houses. Antonio Alvarez, the African American Festival. Right? The African American Festival was supposed to start this Wednesday. Only because of what happened in Choco, people they canceled the festival. They canceled as well because the news is not talking about the Black community like they should. They talk about Cali, which is cool with 30-40% Black. They talk about Bogota because that's the capital. They talk about Medellin because it's the famous. They talk about, they don't talk about in regards to this Cartagena and Barranquilla because nothing happened there. But nobody is talking about the centerpiece.
She's gonna run down on me tomorrow.
And so we're gonna, keep them lifted up and let them know that they're not alone by themselves.
Y'all be having to be careful. No, real talk. This is not me trying to like be a fake celebrity or like big up myself, but y'all, every time I go out here in the Dominican Republic, like especially if I go somewhere and I'm sitting there to like chill or eat, they be knowing me. They be like, "Is you that girl from TikTok?" And I don't got that many followers on TikTok. I think I might have 14K followers. They be, especially the young ones, they be recognizing me. So I do be having to be careful what I say on the internet. I didn't realize. I'm pretty sure in Colombia now because my following him. Because those I was in Colombia at first, I didn't have that big following on Instagram. Now I got a lot of I think half of my following on TikTok, like literally half of my following. It's like half of my following is Colombians, and then I got the rest are Dominicans, Black people, but majority of my following, almost majority, are Colombians. Instagram, I got a whole bunch of Colombians, Dominicans, I got everything on Instagram. And then so the Colombians, some of them, they pissed off at me because they think I left Colombia for a bad reason. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna always go back. I ain't never, they sensitive. I love Colombians, but they sensitive. They take it as like you talking about them.
And like I said, for the guys that just getting here, I'll give you a recap of what took place. At 7:30 yesterday, Andre and I were in our beds, and I feel the first tremor. I wake Andrea up. She's dead asleep because she didn't go to bed. She didn't go to sleep till later that night, and so she's dead asleep. I wake her up. She basically running to sleep.
y'all gotta understand my video. I'm about to get off of here, y'all. Make sure y'all donate to Love Crossing Borders Cash App. Y'all gotta understand. I had videos that were doing well, like my TikTok follow. Y'all, okay. My TikTok following. This is before the Passport Bros. My highest video it's sitting at almost 1 million views on TikTok. Was me talking about the Colombian pharmacy. Literally, like just a trip to the pharmacy. And that's where I got majority of my following from in Latin America. It had nothing to do with the Passport Bros. Nothing. Majority of my TikTok videos that do the best aren't talking about the Passport Bros at all. On Instagram, I had I had a Passport Bro videos that blew up, but y'all gotta understand that channel was already building up. Like that shit would, if I never talked about the Passport Bros, would I be sitting at 50K subscribers right now? Probably not. It would probably be more like at 30K. Majority of my videos, I'm not talking about the Passport Bros. So I had videos on Instagram that had started doing well and gaining some traction. And then when I responded to what was going on, the stuff that the Passport Bros were leaving in my comments, mind you, I'm not the only one they do like this. It's another girl that never talk about them at all or mention them. They go in her comments and harass her in Colombia. And she's married and she's an actress. She don't talk about none of that dating and none of that, whatever. They go bother her. They go bother her on her channel, on her Instagram page. So y'all gotta understand this whole narrative that I got on because of the Passport Bros. TikTok already had my little clout over there. I would have more if I would just be more consistent on TikTok. I'm not consistent enough. Instagram, that ship had already sailed. It had already sailed. What I will say, where area it did help me over here is that I got more attention over here on YouTube. And I was able to attract, it was unintentional, I never planned none of this, but I was able to attract a whole new set of viewers here on YouTube. So I'll credit that. But either way it goes, that ship was sailing. Like, either way it goes, I was on my way up. That just accelerated it. You know how you throw gasoline on a fire? That's what happened. Good night, Kim. She can beef with the Passport Bros because they don't hurt people. Locals do. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll get on here and give my opinion about some local stuff where I feel it matter. I ain't scared to do that. But I don't be wilding out. My girl, here's the thing, the locals for the most part, they cool. They just do little annoying shit sometimes. That's it. My girlfriend in Cali just texted me back and said Cali is in like a real life horror movie. Luckily, her home is still up. I was scared for her. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, I didn't realize how many people had clipped my stuff. I keep hearing they like, oh, it's hella clips and it's hella. I don't be seeing them, to be honest. The reason why I don't see all of this stuff, y'all, is because I don't consume a lot of content. So, okay, if I've ever addressed something that somebody said on my channel about me, understand that somebody sent me that shit. I didn't go looking for it. Like, somebody sent it to me. If nobody sends it to me, I don't see it because I don't just be scrolling. I don't get on TikTok and scroll. I rarely get on Instagram and scroll. And I don't get on YouTube and scroll. And honestly and truly, most of the stuff I pick and choose what I respond to. Most of the stuff I get sent, I ignore. It really just depends. Like if it's a situation where somebody is like it's people that talk shit about me, but they've never tried to get at me, meaning they've never come on a panel or they've never come at my channel to say nothing to me, I'll leave them where they're at. But if them same people, if they were to come pop up in my comments being fake or pop up on a panel talking shit, then that's when I'll be like, okay, somebody already sent me some of you talking shit. So now I'm gonna go in on you because you really could have stayed over there with that, but you chose to bring it to me at this point. But most of the stuff I don't even see. And then the stuff that I do see, majority of the time I just be like, whatever. Colombians and normal people agree with. Do the locals try to beg you for money in Colombia or come to you with a stop? They do that to everybody. They be doing that to other. I mean, are you talking about in terms of like people that I know that I'm cool with and got their number? I had one person do that to me. But my other Colombian friends, never. Never. As a matter of fact, I remember one time my bank account was locked up, like, and I had like, was it my bank account or no? I lost my debit card. It was something to where I couldn't get access to my funds. And my homegirl who do my lashes, she was like, "Girl, you don't gotta wait till they get resolved. Come get your lashes done. I know you finna pay me back." Like Colombians will do if they cool with you, they'll do stuff like that. She was like, you don't gotta worry about that. Just come on. I'm not gonna lie. I was in Colombia before COVID trying to make my best representation of black person from the States. And after COVID, all these dork passport bro undid everything. That's how I say it's like they don't think about other people. A lot of them don't. Some do, and they chill and they do their stuff on the low, but a lot don't. And then when you say something, you wrong. You trying to stop them from living their best life. It's like, can you live your best life within certain, like, do you got to do too much? You can't keep it off the net, or you can't be respectful, and you know what I'm saying? Or look, just because a girl a prostitute, just remember you coming to see her. Don't mistreat the girls. You coming to see her. You remember when David Ruffin said, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis." Well, shit, y'all come to see them. So be nice and don't just be running up on them, grabbing them, and doing all that. People that act like they cool with you but has an agenda. Well, some, but not all. Not all. But that's why you got to be very selective. I don't mind going through a period of loneliness. If you're trying to build genuine connections in any new country, especially Latin America, where they already have the mentality that because you're American that you're rich, you have to be willing to go through long periods of loneliness while you build relationships and talk to people and get to know people, and you get a feel for their character and they get a feel for your character. And don't be prideful. Shit, baby. I be telling them all the time, baby, I ain't got it. I be presenting myself as the broke American all the time. I don't give a damn. Shit, why am I supposed to care about looking broke? It's gonna benefit me at the end of the day. Y'all be thinking, oh, I'm gonna come down here, brag to them about what I got or show them I got. Who you trying to impress? That's just like when niggas go to the hood wearing chains. You trying to impress people that can't afford it? Why? Why? I'm gonna go to the hood and act broke every time. But hey, now being a black dude traveling, I have to prove to Colombians that I'm not a sex tourist. I keep telling y'all that's what's going on, but when I say it, I'm wrong. Y'all see they still ain't apologized to me for the condoms video. Y'all seen that video that went viral of me saying that Colombian immigration is denying entry if they find you in possession of a box of condoms. I remember when I first put that shit out there, I'm not gonna say I was the first to break it. I was one of the first to break it. And I was definitely the first to go viral breaking that story, right? Y'all. Them men was in my comments talking about I was a hater. I just didn't want them coming in the country. I'm mad because all the Latinas is taking them away. And now everybody's talking about that. And there's been several videos with proof, the condoms laid out on the table, everything. You think they done came back to them comments to apologize to me? No, now it's people in the comments was like, hey, Shorty wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. Ain't nobody apologizing to me about it. That's okay. That's okay. You know what? You said something that I agree with. Pause. Black Americans complain about being black in America, but blacks in Latin America and looking what they go through under that colonial system. Oh, people got mad at me because I said that, but it's the truth. All black Americans that sit, I'm finna get off here because my camera finna die, that sit and talk shit about the United States. The United States is so racist. Look, I'm gonna judge a country by the fruit that it produces. So y'all be thinking it's so much better, and a lot of black Americans come on here and paint that it's so much better being black in other countries. That's not true. It's better being an American with the American dollars in other countries. But if you had to be born in those countries as a black person, you would be going through hell. And in the United States, you at least get the opportunity for upward mobility. And even a lot of the most poorest blacks in the United States live better than many black people in Africa and in Latin America. If I had to choose a place to be born black, if I had to be reborn and choose a place to be born black, especially a dark-skinned black person, I'm going to choose the United States every single time. That is the best place on earth that you can be born black. And I will die on that hill. I don't care what none of these fools tell you. My girlfriend says in Cali that it's dangerous to go outside because people who are displaced are robbing people. Yeah, that's true. And that's why I say shout out to the people who are delivering supplies because they're putting their life in harm's way. This is not the United States, y'all. They put in their life in harm's way. It's already people, and this is not indicative of majority of Colombia, but again, it's already people that will throw somebody in the river and go eat lunch right after that in Colombia. It's people like that. So imagine what those type of people would do when they hungry. Was in Palmyra when the quake happened. No one died there. My cousins have a damaged apartment in Cali. What's up, Ray? Shout out to Ray. My favorite Colombian. Shout out to Ray. This is my favorite Colombian content creator. Watching you from a finca in the country. Have you been in the country the whole time, Ray? Do you want to come up and talk real quick? You don't have to. This camera finna die. I'm gonna have to get on my other one. You want to come and talk and just kind of let us know what the people are experiencing? I'll stay on for an extra 5 minutes just for you. Oh, that's a whole nother topic. I would love to explain all the racist stuff that happened to me in Medellin. Yeah, Medellin is different. You probably wouldn't have experienced it if you were like in Cali, Buenaventura, different parts of Colombia. Colombia is like, it's very regional and attitudes vary from place to place. Nah, the best place to be black is Kenya, baby. I don't know about that, how they be over there doing Austin. How they just did Keys. This means where Colombians eating soup after taking a guy out and throwing him in a river. Damn. Christmas time. I'll be there probably gonna go at the end of November, be there through all of December. You don't have a good, let's plan for that, Ray, on a day where you got some good signal and we can kind of talk about, like, follow up and talk about the aftermath. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's been real. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. Again, if you are looking for a channel through which you can donate to and you know that the money is going to get sent to the right place, hit up Robert Eaton, the white dude in the space that y'all don't like. Put your ego aside and donate to Remote Living Gringo. If you would like to donate specifically to the Black community in Colombia, then you can go to Andre's channel on Love Crossing Borders. The link is in the description box of his last video. Okay. Bless up. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Always good night, good stream. Good night, y'all. Good night. Y'all get some rest. We got to get up and go to work in the morning.